Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky sent Joe Biden a very strong message today. Stop being weak. Stop leading from behind. When America leads from behind, the world loses. He didn't say it quite like that, but it amounted to a scolding nonetheless. Joe Biden should be embarrassed that the leader of tiny Ukraine, a nation under siege, that he sees the Biden weakness just as we do, a threat to security across the globe.
I'm addressing the President Biden. You are the leader of the nation, of your great nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
I wish you to be that means he's not that. Direct call out of Joe Biden. You can't even declare really that Joe Biden leads from behind. He doesn't lead anything. He follows. He follows the lead of the Obama lackeys he has surrounded himself with, which is why Zelensky, the 45-year-old man, who no matter what his past is, has inspired a nation through his strength. Joe Biden has inspired tyrants through his weakness.
Strong doesn't mean weak. Strong is brave and ready to fight for the life of his citizens and citizens of the world.
I don't know if Joe Biden's doing that. See, strength starts with trust and confidence in a leader. We don't have either in Joe Biden. Every move he makes is wrong. When he came into office, what did he do? He canceled a shipment of military equipment, weapons, and gear to Ukraine, much needed equipment packed by the Trump administration. Cancels it. He refused to level sanctions against Russia early on to deter Russia from making a move. His inaction got us into this mess. His reactive stance on everything continues to give Putin the upper hand. And his war on energy here, well, that, of course, we know, empowered Putin as well. So today, in response to Zelensky's speech to Congress, Joe Biden announced $800 million more in military aid for Ukraine, but again, refused to answer questions. He refused to go off his teleprompter.
Mr. President, what will it take for you to send the Polish MiGs that President Zelensky is asking for?
I'm not going to comment on that right now. I'm not going to comment anything other than what I told you to say. Thank
Well,
you.
He's told not to comment on anything because they don't want him coming in because they don't trust him. Who knows what comes out of his mouth? Joe Biden is feeble and he is inept. So while we argue about sending outdated, broken down Polish MiG-29s to Ukraine, I still ask, hey, why did Joe Biden just give the Ukrainians the $83 billion worth of military equipment he left behind in Afghanistan? Tanks, trucks, helicopters, weapon systems. I'm not even joking here. He basically gave it to the Taliban. And if they don't have it, you know who does? Russia probably has it. Wouldn't it have just been better? Give it all to Ukraine. What the heck? If we're not going to take it back to America, Ukrainians could have used it, not the Taliban. The answer here is, why didn't we do it? Well, we should have taken it back to America, but you get my point. See, giving Ukraine the tools to fight its own war is far better than us fighting it for them. It's why Republican leaders are all issuing an emotional plea to send Ukraine those old Polish MiG fighter jets.
28 fighters. Maybe never in the history of warfare has 28 planes meant so much to so many. That really is such a small contribution. But I know that President Zelensky believes it will help. And if we reverse course as a nation to give them the planes, it would create momentum for Ukraine.
See, I actually believe the MiGs are actually shiny objects that will make it look like guys like Lindsey Graham and others are helping. These are old and outdated jets. They need a lot of maintenance to get them up and running. They are not a silver bullet. Could they help? Maybe. You know what helps even better, though? The Javelin anti-tank missiles. They will do a far better job to help Ukraine win. Keep giving them some of those. Look, under President Trump, I don't care if you give them American jets, okay? I don't. Because Putin knows we'd crush him if Vladimir Putin escalated anything with President Trump in office. But under Joe Biden, see, I don't want any escalation. Because I believe Biden, as commander-in-chief, is the real threat to our troops and America, and the sad reality is, Russia knows it.